Hello everybody, it's me, Lisa Jane. I'm back with another video since I'm still trying to stick to my commitment of one video a week for you, even in 2019. I have been thinking about this video for the past couple of days because I've been really strongly guided to actually present some information around this, since it feels like a lot of people are going through a lot of stuff, and I just needed to share with you what it is that's coming in for me in terms of information. The first thing, and I mentioned this I think last week in my New Year video, is that we haven't really hit the energetic New Year yet. That's coming. So a lot of people are feeling frustrated that actually, hey, we've passed the 1st of Jan, I did all my work and I'm intending to feel great, why don't I? Well, in this short video, and I'll try to keep it short, I'm going to discuss the energies coming in at the moment, why the energies are affecting us so strongly, and also what you can do about it, essentially. And it's also just sharing my information so that you know that you're not alone. There are a lot of people at the moment that are feeling unsettled, unstable, going through wobblies. They're like, but I dealt with this stuff, why is it coming up for me? And so I'll share with you a little bit about what I feel energetically and intuitively is going on. The first thing is that we haven't hit the new year yet. The second thing is that we really are going through a very powerfully energetic time. I think I mentioned previously is that we really are stepping into a new 7-year cycle. And this 7-year cycle is a big one because it started with the 2012 and that whole energetic, spiritual awakening energy around it. And I'm sure a lot of you would have experienced major shifts in and around 2011, 2012, 2013, where things were very upset and wobbly, and a lot of people were kind of finding their whole world was changing. Everything was changing. So in essence, for those of you that have been working spiritually, energetically on yourself, and you have been looking at those beliefs, thoughts, patterns that you want to let go of, they may be coming up for you still. And it doesn't mean you haven't done your work. But now it's almost that we have to leave it, let it go, and allow the higher energies to sort it out for us. It's kind of like, if I had to think of a word, it's like the finalization process. It's like the energies coming in now are affecting our physical body quite strongly, but are also acting as a big clean out. So you can imagine when you walk into a room, a darkened room, and you shine a light, you can see what's in the room. So as the light energies, as the high vibrational energies move through our body, and dependent on which part of the physical body is holding certain patterns that are changing, we'll feel it. And especially in the solar plexus and the sacral and the root, where a lot of stuff is held within us as individuals and with human consciousness in general, self-esteem issues, self-value issues, beating yourself up, not good enough, all of those things, they sit in that lower section, right, in our physical bodies. So you can imagine that, yes, if you've done your work, you're now stepping under a huge, powerful shower of very high frequency energy that is kind of like cleansing you. I mean, I was going to use the word anesthetic, not quite. When you go into an environment, right, where you need to be totally bacteria clean free, so like a surgeon going into an operating theatre. And sorry, those of you that know me understand that I use a lot of symbols and imagery that kind of help me convey the message, and it's really just how I receive my information, but it kind of really simplifies things. So a doctor would never go into surgery without making sure he's scrubbed down, cleaned up. We are being scrubbed down now. Okay, but we're being scrubbed down for a reason, and that is because we're really on the brink of shifting timelines, of shifting realities. Those of you that tune into the Ascension, the Awakening, the kind of 3rd dimensional, 5th dimensional discussions will know what I'm talking about. The 3rd dimension is the physical, is the what's playing out on the global, political field, financial field, but the 5th dimension is a higher way of being. In essence, we're moving from the head to the heart. All that means is that instead of being stuck in the monkey chattering mind, we're moving to a more intuitive, heart-based wisdom, which, just looking at frequency, is a higher frequency. So it's like we're shifting rules, and at the moment we're in between the two. It doesn't suddenly mean that your whole environment is going to change and suddenly you're going to find yourself floating in upper space on a beautiful spaceship. That may well happen in your dreams or in your astral travel, but in this physical dimension in Earth, things aren't just going to rapidly disappear and reappear overnight. It's going to be a process. But what is happening is that we are being asked to choose, because you can imagine in the beginning when the continents drifted apart and you had Gondwanaland and then you had the Americas and the Africas that were actually at one point together, the rift is actually becoming bigger. And in that sense, the image again is that you can't have a foot on both parts of the crevasse that is opening up. You're kind of going to have to choose. Are you going to stay on this one, or you're going to make the leap and you go to that one? So that kind of tugging, that pulling, energetically is what's happening now, right? We are moving. So it really is very important what you choose. And I've said before too, and I feel that energy is coming in strongly again, that now is the time. Now is the time for you to choose. And does that mean you change your whole life overnight? In some cases it may be, but in other cases not. All it really means is that you take a moment by moment awareness of what you're thinking, how you're acting, and if it's not in alignment with your higher self, that you change it. Okay, there was something else I wanted to talk to you about, and what is that? Well, that's timelines. If you're watching spiritual channels or awakening channels, you would also heard people talking about timelines are collapsing. What does that mean as a practicality? Can we even understand that? Well, again, for me, the guidance I'm receiving around that is yes, timelines are collapsing. But if we look at it as in a way that we can understand it, it's like past, present, and future are all merging into one. Does that mean we're going to become amnesiacs and forget the past? No. But what it does mean is that any energy that is still stuck in the past is needing to come through. As in the future, anything you have created an entitlement or an expectation against, not necessarily intention, I'm not talking that will need to collapse, so that what we're looking towards is being present in the moment with full awareness and energetic integration. That is when we will be in the moment, in the now, in the fifth dimension. So some of you may be experiencing things from your past coming up, people from your past coming up, issues again that you thought you dealt with. It's all part of the two main aspects that are happening now. That is the cleansing, the finalization, like, you plunge a bodum of coffee, is that that light coming in is pushing the heavier stuff down through your physical body, all to be cleared, so that we can ultimately be completely present in our physical body, because after all, that's what we're here for, to incarnate fully into our physical body and connect to Earth. And then we're bringing past, present, future energies that are scattered into the present moment, right? Cleansing and alignment into the moment. What can you do about it? Well, some people are saying to me, I've done everything I can and I feel I've worked so hard and yet these things are still coming up. If you've worked so hard and done your stuff, don't get frustrated with yourself. Let it be. If you really feel like there are energies or things that you need help moving with, in the same way that we go to other professionals to assist, go and see an energy healer or a spiritual healer or practitioner, kinesiologist, Reiki, whatever it is that really aligns to you, to help shift those energies. Because if there's another message coming in, it's that you don't have to do it alone. First of all, your team, your spiritual team, your guides are with you. Every one of us in this human awakening journey are connected and helping one another. And then there are people out there that can help you move the energies so that you can be cleansed and align yourself to the present moment as fully as possible. So I suppose that's the gist of my main message. The other thing I wanted to say is that because the energies are so strong, our physical body is taking strain. You may have a number of bodily symptoms, but if there's one thing that's running through a lot of people, and it's also present in my own life, because make no mistake, as everyone else is going through healing, I'm going through my healing, I'm shifting stuff, I'm not perfect, I'm a work in progress, is that because the energies are coming in, our physical body is taking a strain, and the net result may be that you feel completely drained. Not drained in the usual way when you've been too busy or too stressed or that. You actually feel, and the only way to express it is you're drugged. Now, I don't do the drugs or the herbs or anything, but that's just my choice. It's kind of, I have enough going on my head as it is. I don't need any psychedelic drug to assist me in that place. So I'm not talking about that. I'm actually talking about, if any of you have had operations, how you feel kind of when you come out of the anesthetic. Well, it's a bit like that. It's a bit like coming out of anesthetic. So at times you may think, oh my God, I can't open my eyes. In the morning I normally bounce out of bed. What is wrong with me? I can't do this anymore. It's because the energies coming in are of a high vibration that our bodies are not actually used to yet. We will be used to in another 2-3 years. But in the meantime, if you feel that, don't suddenly step into fear and think there's something wrong with you physically. If you've done all the things and you know that you're actually fine, so intuitively your body's saying, I'm good, but you're still feeling the sense of really, really strong tiredness, please rest. There's nothing wrong with lying flat on your bed and resting and sleeping. In this time, it's actually better if you don't try and do anything about it. Just rest. Don't try and meditate. Don't try and visualize. Don't listen to mantras. Just rest, because that's all your body needs to be able to assimilate the energies coming through. There was something that popped into my mind a while ago, and I've kind of forgotten what it is, so I'm hoping they'll remind me. And if they don't remind me, then maybe it's not something that I need to share with you today. But I really, really do wish you many, many blessings on this journey, because, oh yes, that's it, they reminded me what it was. Sorry about that. Anesthesia. I've mentioned it a couple of times actually, the cleansing, the being clean, but also what they're saying is we are also coming out of anesthesia. So as much as you may have been on an awakening journey for a number of years, we are only now really stepping into the awareness of kind of, whoa, having a look around and really opening our eyes. So when we've been asleep and in zombie-like mode, where we've kind of been disconnected from our higher self, and then suddenly you're brought into this vibration where your higher self, your vibration, your source essence is descending into your physical body for the first time ever, really, because that's also what I'm seeing is we're all landing. A lot of people are landing. You may have think you've been on here on the planet for 50 odd years, like me, or less, or multiple lifetimes, but we really are just all landing here. So it's a process of being asleep for a long time, and I'm talking consciously asleep, and this is no disrespect to anyone, we've all been through it, right? So it is like we're coming out of anesthesia, and that's why you also feel like you're a bit drugged, because that's what happens when you come out of an operation. So please don't see any of these things, unless, of course, if you're really, really concerned, go and see a specialist, go and see a doctor, go and see a physician, whatever it is. I'm not saying ignore any bodily symptoms, but if you have an intuitive sense that this is what you're experiencing, then know that the energies coming in are of a high vibration, a high frequency, and all you need to do is rest. And if you really feel like you need someone to work with you energetically, then please come see myself or another healer that you can be in touch with, or anyone that works with your energetic body, because it's going to become more and more a fact of life that we are energy, and we need to look after that side of ourselves as well, and to become aware of it, and each person to be aware of it in their own way. There's no single book, course, anything out there that's going to give you all the answers. They're all going to give you bits and pieces. At the end of the day, all that's being asked of you is that you actually find that voice inside. Do what it is that makes you feel alive, feel connected, and at peace. I think I've spoken a little bit longer than I said I would. So I apologize for that, right? And I'm just going to look, yes, I probably have, but I'm not going to apologize again. If you found value from this video, thank you for listening, and tune into more. I'm going to try and post them every week. If there is anything specifically you have questions about, I know one particular person was talking intention, so I will be putting a video out on that soon. But really, if there's anything, I'm here for you. I will kind of just sit and meditate on the topic, see what guidance brings in, and while I'm talking, I also get more guidance. As you can see, it's kind of like they're knocking their door and they're like, hang on, you haven't mentioned this, I want you to mention this. So yes, that's me. Have a beautiful, beautiful upcoming weekend, and I will chat to you again soon. Bye.